morning. It is Sunday,
August 28th.
Yes.
Day before Artemis launched to the moon and back.
But no people, just the rocket. So we are heading towards Kennedy Space Center. We bought season passes, annual passes? I'm not sure. Annual passes to Kennedy Space Center yesterday.
We were planning to do this all along, but since the COVID shut everything down and it took a while before they brought back some stuff, I wasn't really wanting to pay for a partial experience.
Yeah. So everything's back open. It's been open for a while.
Yeah.
So we see the new rocket. It's going to go to space
Tomorrow.
I think it was, oh look, there's the nuclear power plant over there.
Yes. Also, this is the first time you've probably seen ever driving my
Tesla.
Well, it's driving itself right now.
It's driving itself.
To the right, you'll see the train that's going to be going to Miami to Orlando International Airport.
There you go. See it over there. So you can see the railroad tracks. They're below the bridge there for a second.
And then,
And here's Jeff driving. Or not driving.
not
see?
really driving.
Not really driving.
It's the blue lines mean it's driving itself. I just have to touch it every so often.
So here's the rail line that he was talking about, right there. All right.
In another 36 minutes and we'll be there.
Yep.
I anticipating to be very crowded today since it's the day before launch.
Yeah, I imagine so.
And they actually had a SpaceX launch last night.
Oh,
So it was kind of busy day or busy couple days out
busy
here.
weekend at Kennedy's ye old spaceport.
Yeah, it's gonna be really a mess tomorrow because they're anticipating over 200,000 people
Yes.
coming to watch it.
Originally, I was thinking about coming out here, but now I'm thinking probably not. Probably would not be
Yeah,
smart.
It'll be hours and hours to try to drive.
Yeah. Normally, it takes about hour and 20, hour and 15, a little over an hour.
Probably well over 3 to get back.
Yeah.
And it's an early morning launch, so
Well, like 8:30 to 10:30 or something
yes.
like that.
Launch window.
Yeah. We'll check back with you guys later.
Get over there.
All right.
So we're in line to park. It's actually moving pretty good. We thought it was appropriate that Rocket Man came on right when we were in line to park.
Gates open at 8:30. We could have been here at 8:30.
You were sleeping. I was up bright and early.
You sure about that?
Yeah, but I woke up around 6.
Oh, not after that. You could have gotten up and taken a shower.
Oh,
No, you waited for me to take a shower first.
okay. She always likes to bicker. She is like the #1 bickerer. And you'll see it's kind of cool. They got the countdown on the side of the road as you go in.
Yeah, so we're on,
Yeah,
we
sorry
were on
about-
8, now we're on 4. See the 4 there? So what do you want to see today, Jeff?
I want to see it all.
You see it all?
Well, we have been here since we actually moved here.
Yeah, I think we came here like twice before I came here for our anniversary. No, when we got married, we came here.
Came here and then we did it again for the race like in 15 or something.
Yeah, when the first time we did Space Coast. And that's when they did, is that where they opened the Atlantis?
It was right around when the last
Yeah,
exhibit opened.
because we saw that. That was cool.
Well, now there's like the new thing, the Mars exhibit.
Yeah.
These planes are crack hard.
So we made it here. It's historic clock. The original countdown clock. There's a new one that's out there. I think it's going for the new rocket, Artemis.
the meatball logo.
The meatball logo. Oh yeah, the meatball logo. The NASA logo. Here you go. Yeah.
Now we just need to get inside.
Yes.
You want to go? Are we go for launch? So which ticket are you going to use?
What ticket am I going to use?
There's two in your thing. Are you put the first one?
Oh.
The second one?
I screenshotted them both, so here, let me get it out. We're gonna go do the bus tour to go out and see the Saturn V. I think this is as close as we can get to the Artemis rocket, right? Without taking the tour, yeah.
Tours are all sold out.
Can't imagine why.
There's a lot of cars coming in, but it's not too bad so far. So it's
No.
probably just the initial rush.
Yeah.
We're on our bus to the 5, Saturn V that is. I'm trying to figure it out. I think on the right side will be the view of, closest view we can of
We'll
the
find out.
Artemis, unless we do a tour, special tours.
Yeah.
So we'll find out. We'll try it, see what happens.
Before it looks like the moon surface is kind
Yes, the bus. You can kind of see down there. Hard. It's like the moon. So we're walking on the moon.
Yeah.
So how many people can see that? Yes.
Lunar Theater. At the Lunar Theater, located at the nose end of the Saturn V rocket, you can relive the experience of Neil Armstrong's historic landing and first steps on the moon. As you enter, please move all the way to the front of the theater to make room for the guests behind you. Greatest adventure mankind has ever undertaken.
When I was a kid, I used to dream about flying through space. Every week on TV, I'd watch my heroes jump into their rocket ships and took to the sky. And I wanted to be like them. They had courage, imagination, and no problem ever stood in their way for long. You know, in the end, when we actually did send men into space, it turned out that those were exactly the qualities it took. I'm John Hudson. This is Pad 39 at the Kennedy Space Center. I was a launch controller here when from this very spot, man took off to fly to the moon. It was a journey that began 12 years before that rocket ever left the ground. And it started on the other side of the world.
Earlier in the morning, astronauts Frank Borman, Jim Lovell, and Bill Andrews had made their final preparations before taking that long ride out to the waiting spacecraft. The minimum safe distance from Saturn V at liftoff was 3 miles. The reason was simple. When fully fueled, the rocket contained the explosive power of an atomic bomb. As the clock counted down, the astronauts and all of us in launch control went through the pre-flight checks. Our hands on the controls of the most powerful, most complex machine ever built. It had over 2 million separate systems, and to bring these men back alive, everything had to work perfectly. Each individual system had been tested, but what we didn't know was how it would perform when all 2 million began to work together. That moment would come when the countdown clock reached 0. if a maneuvering thruster failed, if communications broke down, if navigation was off by 1 degree, if any piece of the miles of wiring, circuits, relays, or valves was defective, Frank Borman, Jim Lovell, and Bill Anders would pay with their lives. As they sat, waiting for launch on that chill December morning, these 3 astronauts were back to what they had always been, test pilots. You are now in the final minutes before the launch of Apollo 8, right here where it actually happened.
Final reports coming from Frank Borman at this time. Final look at the surface work in spacecraft. 20 seconds on our steps to a serial roll like this time. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10.
Apollo 8 successfully orbited the moon, and the astronauts returned safely to the Earth. I know. I'm Jim Lovell, and I was one of the crew of this spacecraft, Apollo 8. We were the first men to see the surface of the moon from just a few miles away. But it was the hundreds of thousands of men and women who worked in that team, and the millions of people who supported the mission that really made it possible. That way, I guess, we all went to the moon. Now, on the other side of those doors, you'll find an actual Saturn V moon rocket. It's still the most powerful, the most complex machine ever built. And I guess it's the only one that can take you to another planet. I actually got to fly on a second flight to the moon called Apollo 13. But that's another story.
रेगुलर टूर में जाता रही है
A 60,000-pound dead mass. That meant that when I wanted to go right, and use the controller to go right
Hologram effect.
and witness a wild gyration. I actually had to learn how to maneuver the spacecraft all over again with that dead command service module attached at that time.
That's Apollo 13.
We never trained for that. This is one of touch and go, one of the things that, you know, but you'd be surprised how fast you learn when you're in front.
Jennifer saw Snoopy and she had made a beeline straight to it's Space Snoopy. When I hear about the rockets, we're here to see Snoopy.
With my fingers.
You see Artemis sitting down there on the pad ready for tomorrow. To the right, you'll see SpaceX, the Bollinger Tower for the Starship. And kind of see some other launch towers out there. Got back SpaceX just launched last night.
I'm gonna go in the bathroom.
Really cool cutout see-through model.
And this also, right?
Yeah, right. Now,
Reporting from the CBS News Space Center in New York with the latest developments from the Apollo 11 moon mission. Correspondent Walter Cronkite. Now it's now 3 hours.
So we have the Astro van. Apollo 1 tribute. the guys that died.
Thunderstorm moving in. You get the warning signs up there. Please seek shelter immediately. So how was the Saturn V experience?
That's cool. I like it.
Right, so
I've seen a lot of Saturn V rockets recently, so.
We're gonna head to the Atlantis.
Great, so you want to reduce the CO2 buildup.
We need a better safety margin. The crew can tolerate a short-term increase, but...
Engineering? Morning, Betty. What, right now?
Building 36?
I didn't even know there was a building 36. Must be important. Everyone's here. We got propulsion, aerothermal, flight dynamics.
Anyone know why we're here?
For this. Good morning. We're going to create America's next spacecraft. It's going to launch like a rocket and land like an airplane, and it's going to be reusable.
Can't do that with a rocket.
It's not a rocket. It's a shuttle.
Now it's time to go to the next step. Sketch pad to launch pad. Going to the moon was a camping trip. Now our job is to work and live in space. This vehicle has to do something that we have never done before. Perform 4 key tasks and be able to do them over and over again. There is nothing easy about putting a ship back up into space, let alone a whole fleet of ships. But first, let's talk about the launch. We have never designed engines and vehicles that can be reused. But we will, and once we're in orbit, we go to work. We want to take all kinds of cargo up there in addition to the people. Science labs, satellites, even the space station. And when all the work is done, we gotta bring everybody back home. All right now, the country's waiting. Let's build ourselves a space shuttle.
It's too big, it's too heavy. We're launching one spaceship on the back of an even bigger one.
What if we split the booster into its pieces? Rockets, fuel tank.
It's supposed to be reusable. How do we get all those parts home?
What if we just throw the fuel tank away?
We're adding all new processes, procedures, manuals. We've never had to reuse a ship before.
We're also gonna have to build some really big garages.
Sir, what if she lands somewhere other than Florida? How does she get back here? To glider?
Buy her a plane ticket home.
Ablative heat shields are heavy, and they burn up on re-entry. We need a more reusable solution. Silica foam tiles, thousands of them, fitted together in one lightweight, reusable heat shield.
Another holdup with the engines? Tell me some good news with the tiles.
The heat shield bond keeps failing. The tiles keep falling off.
So another delay. How long? How long?
1.5 to 2 years.
Well, this is going to be fun to tell my boss. Everybody get back to work.
I'll let you know when they come home.
The President's message said, "You go forward this morning on a daring enterprise, and you carry the hopes and prayers of all Americans with you." And astronaut John Young, the commander of the mission, replied, "That's a right fine speech. We sure appreciate it."
This launch of Columbia marks NASA's first manned test flight ever flown into space with people on board.
Coming up on the 5-minute point. Mark, T-minus 5 minutes.
After Friday's failed launch attempt, it does appear that the shuttle will take off this year.
Mark.
May I have your attention, please? Should you need to leave the presentation at any point in time, we kindly ask that you use the exit doors at the front left and right of the theaters. There is a push button on the wall that when you press it, it will automatically open both of those doors for you. As a reminder, we ask that you refrain from the usage of any cell phones, video recorders, and external lighting. We have the Space Shuttle Atlantis. You still see the streak marks on the plates from the going through Earth's atmosphere, re-entering the atmosphere. Jeff and I were saying this is kind of sad because this is basically how we remember the space program, because of course, you know, we remember more like the 70s and 80s, which was after Apollo.
The original engines have been removed. They kind of have stand-ins on them now. It's a great show. You're not allowed to record during it, but I recommend. This is probably one of the highlights of Kennedy Space Center. That, and of course the Saturn V rocket. The last mission of the Space Shuttle program from July 8 to July 21st, 2011. I mentioned they'd taken off the original engines. This is actually one of the original engines. 37 million horsepower. It's pretty cool.
Choked up over everything. I'm so choked up.
He's so choked up. He's so emotional about it.
Yeah, so we got done with the Atlantis exhibit. It was great as always. What's really cool they're doing today is they have the companies and the schools and stuff that have the experiments on Atlantis. And they were giving out information about all their equipment or whatever they have for free. So there's a lot of Artemis stuff, like there's that. They gave out patches, decals, stickers, posters, pen, collectible pens, more stickers over there. So if you didn't come today, you missed out on it. The fan. Of course, we're both hungry.
Yeah. Trevor's hungry.
Yeah. We tried to do the Orbit Cafe right over there.
Oh, and just got his.
And it was really packed. Oh yeah, we got a squishy
Artemis. I think it's no, Space Shuttle. I can't tell.
No, it's Artemis.
Is it Artemis?
Yeah. Dave, you had to ask a question, a good question, and they'll give you a prize. So we both asked a good question. We both got a squeezable Artemis.
You got some posters.
Yeah. So instead of eating at the Orbit Cafe, we just came over here, grabbed some quick food. This hot dog place.
Some good stuff here.
Yeah, see the decals.
And then
patch.
And then
Snoopy. And Jennifer got a picture with Snoopy.
I got a picture with Snoopy.
We're about ready to take our journey to Mars. The Mars journey has automatic doors. Got back from exploring Mars. Mars is cool.
There's a special presentation. You guys, one of the engineers from
System Integration for Ryan.
Yeah.
Gave a little talk, about 40 minutes of talk. It's actually quite interesting, quite informative.
Kind of went over the different, like what their plans are for, after if this is successful with Artemis 2, which is to get them to do. It's basically Artemis 2 is going to be like Apollo 8.
Yeah, and then 3 is going to be landing.
Yeah, we'll be like
4
Apollo 11.
It's going to be a gateway mission where it's set up a gateway for
Like a
the
spaceship,
moon.
a moon space station.
Yeah, then 5 would be back landing, and then the rest of them are like Gateway and same for the moon base. Now we're going into the exhibit called Gateway. This is new since the last time I've been here, so. There's a Falcon 9 used rocket hanging from the ceiling. This is a mock-up of the Sierra ship. It's Dream Chaser. And a model of the Artemis. Orion capsule, mock-up.
And when many thought we were through, no. We've been learning, we've been building, we've been training. And now, it's time. Because it makes
Here on the second floor, so you can see the SpaceX Falcon rocket. This is a used Falcon rocket. It's a big, long one. The little wings. And then down here is the Orion capsule. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure that's what goes on top of the Artemis rocket. We have the Sierra. And then over here in the corner we have the SpaceX capsule and the Starliner capsule. So Jeff, that one looks used. This is the Falcon X.
This is the Dragon cargo ship.
Dragon cargo.
That's from SpaceX.
Okay, and that's a Starliner.
That is actually space used.
Yes, that looks space used. That Falcon rocket absolutely looks space used.
They're all used. The other ones are not used. Okay. Anybody else outside of SpaceX and theirs is either mock-ups or testing modules ahead of time?
Okay, so basically SpaceX is the only used vehicles in this building and displayed here. Okay. that are reused?
Yes.
Okay. That land by themselves.
Actual landing legs are removed.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. We just got to the car. I said the word so. Start over. We just got to the car. It's about what?
3:40-ish.
3:30, 3:40-ish. So we spent about
Quite a bit here. We got here at 9.
yeah, so about 6 hours here. Quite a while.
And we didn't get to do everything.
No.
So we'll have to come back.
Yeah. So yeah, we didn't do any of the rocket garden.
Yes.
And but we did
Probably
go.
start over. You're turning it.
Fine, then you do it.
No, just freaking listen to what I say. That's what it is. Now you're aiming at your head, right? Kind of between us.
Okay, I am
Now you're
aiming.
aiming right at my freaking head. Now there you go. Now.
Just got to the car, closing out our day here at Kennedy Space Center. It's about 3:40 p.m., so we were here for about 6.5 hours almost. We didn't really do everything. We did.
No, not at all.
We did Saturn V, and then we did
Shuttle.
Atlantis, and then we
Went over
did.
to I think it's Mars with the guy who gave a speech to the integration engineer.
Yeah, that was really cool.
And then over to Mars or the Gateway, which had all the
Yeah, had all the new
third-party
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah, the SpaceX and the.
Of course, some gift shops in between.
Yes, and we also had some food in there
had
too.
some food. And Jennifer got herself.
Oh yeah, I finally found my Earthy. So if you guys remember the original SpaceX launch with astronauts, was the 0G indicator. See? So this was not actually this specific one, but it was just like, see, so you can be a zero, you're gonna grow up and be a 0G indicator. Yes.
Well, we're headed back home.
All right, we're gonna head back home. How long is it saying we're gonna take?
An hour and a half.
Hour and a half, probably because of traffic.
Yep, back in Orlando.
Yep.
You know, the old saying is Orlando's an hour from Orlando.
Exactly.
Well, we'll see you on the next trip,
All right.
which is coming soon.
Coming very soon. Have fun. Talk to you later.